everybody, and today I'm going to teach you how to solve a square one. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that I'm not one of those fast speed cubers and I can't just do... Yeah, I can't really do that, even though I just did. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm not one of the pro speed cubers on square one. I'm not really that good at it. I average around like 31 seconds or something. But anyway, I'm going to teach it. So let's go. So let's get to the first part, that is turning the cube. A lot of you may be bamboozled by this cube because it shape shifts, and it's one of the only shape shifting puzzles in the WC which is allowed in competitions. So that's weird. But anyway, I'm going to teach you how to turn it first, because a lot of you may be a complete beginner at this, so that's why this video is intended for beginners. So first thing you're going to see on the cube are the front faces, like the yellow face and the white face. Some cubes come with a black face instead of the white one, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do to learn how to turn it is get one of the side faces. Not this one, because it has a straight bar in the middle. The ones which have two bars. So the first thing you need to do is, this is the smaller part, right? And this is the longer part. This is called a slice, where you slice it just once like this, through the middle. Then these edges, they count as one. You might have seen square one notations which are like parentheses 1/2 negative stuff and all, and you might think that's maths, but it isn't. It's just notations. These edges, they count as one. So when they say 1, you can do like this, and for that then there's a slash in the notation. I'm going to put the notations here, by the way. There's a slash, and then comes what you have to do to the down layer. If it's just 0, then you do not need to turn the down layer at all. If it's 1, then you need to do like this. But it won't be 1, because you can't just turn this side. Positive 1 over here goes this side, which means negative 2 can only be the plausible thing. Now these corners, they count as +2. Not +2 in the way that means, just 2, positive 2. So if there's let's do a sample notation. I'm going to put the notation up here and I'm going to do it. So there's a slash, then there's a 3, and then there's another 3, and then there's a slash. So let's do that again in slow motion. There's a slash, 3, 3, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 plus 1, 3, slash, done. You might want to try this a few times just to get the general idea of how to turn the cube. Once you have got it, you can skip to the algorithm part. So here's the method for this. Just like there's CFOP, there's a method for this as well. So the first thing we have to do is scramble the cube. Okay, so I think it's fully scrambled now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make all of the edges in one place, and that is the beginner's method. But I don't think that's pretty useful, because when I was starting out, there was a lot of videos showing that method only for beginners method, and I thought that was easy, but it isn't really that easy. There's this new method which I just learned, scallop-kite or scallop-scallop. So this is what we call a scallop. All of these edges are in 2, 2, 4. They are in a 4 order, just connecting to each other. So first, the first case for scallop is scallop and scallop. So you have to turn all 4 edges over here and all 4 edges on the both sides, and then line them up like this. But here we have a bit of a problem. We have only 3 edges, and on the opposite side we have 4 edges. So you might just want to do a few turns. This is totally intuitive. There is no like specific algorithms for this, so you just have to figure it out on your own. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So end up doing this thing where you get all of the edges in one place and get the corners. If you get this case, which is really rare, like You have to do a lot of algorithms to get this specific case. I just got it while I was trying to do it and it seems easier. So this is the algorithm to solve this case is slash 2 3 4 slash these slash, you get these kites. This is what we call a kite. Whenever you get this on both sides, you know you're near. What you have to do is line up all these things. Like let's say that these corners are facing inward and the bottom corners are also facing inwards. Get them together to line up and then do the slice. You're going to get the cube shape. Or you can get these two things where the corners and edges are facing outwards on the same side and then do the slice. And that's how you get cube shape. Here we have the scallop-scallop thing. There's the 4 edges there, 4 edges on the bottom. Focus. Why aren't you focusing? Yes, there we go. There are 4 edges on the bottom, 4 edges on the top. What you have to do is exactly line up the two thing, and in the middle there might be a slice that goes like this, and then do the same thing on the bottom so that makes a right slice. So you just slice it like this, and then you might get this barrel shape. And in this barrel shape you put all of the corners over here and a slice through the middle edges, which will give you a kite on both the sides. Again, you can do the corners facing inwards or corners facing outwards on both sides, line them up and then do a slice. And here we have got the cube shape. Now the next case is the scallop and kite, which I'm going to show you right now. Here we go. We have the scallop and kite. There's the kite on the bottom and there's the scallop on the top. In this case, you have to put the kite's edges and corners facing outwards like this, and the scallop in the middle. Again, as we did with scallop and scallop, you're going to do the same thing with scallop and kite. You are going to make a slice through the middle like this, and now here we do this algorithm. You slice, you'll get this thing fist, which is called, and on the bottom you get like this. You will get kite, and then you do the thing again, corners inwards and then turn. Now these were all the 3 cases you need starting out with making the cube shape in the first place. Once you've got cube shape, you don't really need to mind this thing in the middle. You might think this is not cube shape because there's a thing in the middle, but that can be solved really easily. I'm just going to show you how it is done on 3x3. It's pretty intuitive and it makes common sense. So here we have a 3x3 for comparison. I'm just going to do that over here. So this case on the square one, where these things are supposed to be on the opposite side, it's equivalent to this case on the 3x3, which you might know. Here we have these two F12 pairs messed up, and you solve it by doing that. And if you're watching this video right now, you probably know how to solve a 3x3. In this case, how we do it is we're going to take out these things, which is for the face. We remove them and then we opposite these sides and then put it back and then put the whole thing back. That's the same thing we do over here. We just do that thing, U2, done, and it's now cube shape. But I don't really usually do that because it always happens. Now if I do this algorithm to solve this case, then it will always again get messed up, and that just slows down your time of solving it. So I just do it in the end, and it doesn't really come in the way once you get used to it. So now what we have to do is permute all of the corners correctly. We have to orient them, sorry, not permutation. This is OLL, orientation of the corners. So first, if you have 2 corners like this in the bar and 2 corners on the opposite side, it doesn't really matter. You just need 2 corners here, 2 corners here, or it can even be 1 corner, but it's better in 2 corners. What you have to do now is, if you turn it like this, it'll turn into kite, which is something you do not want. You should either take out one piece and then turn, or keep this like this and take out one piece from the bottom and then turn it. So what I'm going to do is take out this piece from here, take it out, put this thing over here, put this thing back, and boom, we have got 2 over here, 2 over here. This is pretty intuitive. There are not specific algorithms for solving these cases. They are intuitive and you have got to figure them out on your own. It might seem hard, but it's easy once you get used to it. Next, once you've got 2 corners in the right place, what you have to do is line them up correctly and then solve them. Oh wait, no. Put this over here. Solve them like this. What you'll have now is edges over here. If there are 2 edges, it doesn't really matter how many edges there are. You just need to do the same algorithm again and again until the edges are solved. Here I have 2 edges which are unsolved. So this is pretty intuitive as well. You have to swap this and this. So there's this algorithm for swapping these two. You have to keep this over here opposite to each other. This one over here, this one over here. This needs to go here, this needs to go here. So these two need to be swapped. Keep them on top of each other. Keep them on the side. Hold your hand on this edge, which it's not really an edge. It's just a small thing. Yeah, it's just a small thing over here, which you have to hold your thumb on, and then you have to do this algorithm. Now let's do it again slower. Okay, let's do it again. We have these two on top of each other. You do this. 3, 3. You put these things back. Put that over here. And then boom, we've got it solved. Let's do it again slower this time. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay. We put 1, 3, 3, 1 over here like this. 1 again outside. 3, 3, done. Now that you've got your edges solved, it's time to permute the corners this time, not orient them. First, you may solve this thing. I don't really like solving it, but for the sake of this tutorial, beginners forever, let's put this over here. Now that it's cube shape and you've got a general idea of what to do, here we need 2 corners in one place. Let's see, over here we have the 2 corners, and on the bottom we also have 2 corners. Let's go. Now these 2 corners, if you have them, you put them in the back. Put your hands in the front. Make sure your hands are not on this thing because you can't turn it that way. Make sure your hands are over here. And then once you've got it on the back, you have to do this really simple algorithm, which I find it really fast. Okay, I messed up on that one. Let's do this again. So put these in the back. Do like this. Let's do it again slower this time. If you want to do the white face first, then you just have to bring those things again this way. These things, put it over here and then align it properly, because if you do not do that, and you'll have to turn it like this, and you'll have to put the thumb on the longer filling, and those things are really annoying once you get used to them. So I'll just do like this. Let's do this algorithm slower this time. Like this. Why isn't this focusing? Both of them over there. Put this back. Boom. You got the corners. And now you do it again. Yay. The algorithm will be written on top. If you can follow it, you can, or else you can just follow my fingers. I find it easier to follow people's fingers when I am learning square one, so you can choose whatever you want. Let's do this again. We have it on the back. Yes. Now let's see about the case when you do not have any corners. None of the corners are oriented like this and you're at the messed up cube. Well, it's not technically messed up because you just do the algorithm that I showed you once again until it gets both corners over here, put them in the back. Now that we've got all the corners over here, it's time to permutate the edges. Let's check on the bottom. Yes, we have all of the corners exactly where they're meant to be. Now what we do is permutate the edges. This algorithm which I'm going to show you, what it does is when you keep both of these on the back, it will swap this thing and this will go over here. Most of the time it happens that there's a yellow, let's say there's a yellow edge over here and it both swaps and the both faces get solved. Both faces get solved again. But in some cases it happens that there's only one color over here that gets solved, but it doesn't matter. Like over here, these two will get swapped, so I'm going to keep them in the back, and only the green face will get swapped on the front part. Now let's do the algorithm. So I'm back with my messed up trauma. We have a different case now, but it doesn't really matter. Here we have these two to solve. Why isn't this thing focusing? Come on, you're meant to be a beast, Canon SL3. Okay, it's now back in focus. So we have to swap these two and these two. Never swap the opposite thing, okay? Never have it that this and this opposite is solved and these two need to be opposite, because we do not have edge perms in square one. You should never have a case that these two are solved and these things are not, because we do not have an H perm in square one. We only have Z perms or J perms. I don't know what perm we can call that. You can call it whatever. So we're going to swap these two and these two with this algorithm. Hey, we got it again. And why did we have to end up with the worst case in the first place? Okay, we have ended up with the worst case in the world, which is parity. Parity sucks. It sucks so bad. If you didn't get parity and you were lucky enough to not get parity, you just do the both of things in the final place and boom, you got your cube solved. But if you have parity, then you need to be ready for a big headache, because that's what I had when I first learned parity. Okay, so I'm not going to do parity on camera. I'm just going to keep the algorithm over here. It's really hard to do parity, and I can't do it really slowly. I just do it really fast. And if you actually want to memorize parity, like from where I memorized it, there's a link over here or in the description or in the comments. And that was a really good video. I really enjoyed it and I learned parity from there. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it once without any failure. Okay, here we go. Yeah, like this. That was my mistake. Here we go. We just solved that thing and boom. Parity you can learn from that link which I just showed in that box or in the link in the description. And yeah, I'm not going to really teach parity in depth because I'm not good at it. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. Give me some watch time by watching it again. Hope you learned parity. Subscribe because it really shows some support and it helps me and encourages me to do these videos. And you can comment about your progress, or if you already know square one, what are your tips for it, or if you just learn square one and want a good cube. Anyways, bye, subscribe, comment, like, share, do the usual stuff. And share, I'm telling because it helps the YouTube algorithm, okay? It helps me reach a higher growth. Okay, bye.